Hello, I hope you're all good. We have 3 creatures here in the scene, and they perform different actions. This one is the fighter. He fights very briefly and then he stops. And we have the walker who walks and claps the hands, and we have the dancer, and I gave them different colors. So I have 3 motion capture creatures in the scene. I want the walker to dance. How do I do this? We create a new scene, because I try to show you things from scratch. So don't save. And a basic thing when you jump into character animation is this. I learned this through a comment to one of my videos actually, and I highly appreciate that comment. This in the default settings, when you start a new scene, is 1 centimeter. So this is 10 centimeters. So a character usually comes in dimensions of meters. It's 1.6 or 1.8 meters high. So we go to Windows, Settings, Preferences, and here we have the basic settings, and the settings are in centimeters, and we change them to meters and save this setting. The next time we call up Maya, it will be back to centimeters, so don't worry. But this is ideal for character animation. This is 1 meter now, and this is 2 meters now. Okay, Windows, General Editors, Content Browser, and here under the Motion Capture file menu, you find several motion capture creatures here. For example, the cartwheel, which we haven't used yet, and he arrives in the scene in proper dimensions. That's what I meant. We have the fighter, which we've seen before, and we can walk and sit, for example. So we have 3 characters in the scene, and now we'll change their colors. And how do we do this? The best thing to pick them actually is here in the outliner, because here you pick the geometry instead of the skeleton, and the geometry is what carries the color. So who is that? Okay, that's the dancer. All the way to the right here in the attribute editor, you have the Fong shader, which is currently set to gray, and will change the color of the dancer to a very vivid yellow. Now let's go to the fighter geometry, and since he's more aggressive, we change him to red. And we have the walker, who's a peaceful man. He just walks and sits, and we'll make his color blue. So that's what we have. I press Alt B and change the background of the viewport window. So we have 3 characters, and they have 3 colors, and they do their jobs. Now I want the person who walks and sits to actually dance. How do I do this? Pretty simple. We go to the tab Human IK, which you get under rigging here as well. The skeleton, quick rig, Human IK, yeah, here it is. So we're here, and we have 2 lines here which are important. The character and the source. The character is the skeleton, basically not the skin, but the skeleton inside of that skin. And the source is what drives that skeleton. So currently we have the cartwheel motion capture example. That's him and his dance. That's that character which is selected. We want the blue character to be active here, and that's not the fight, but the walk. Nothing changes in the selection here in the viewport, but we're telling Maya we want to deal with a walk creature now. And we want to give him another source, and the source is going to be the cartwheel. Now see what's happening to the blue character. He jumps all the way back there, and he performs basically the same cartwheel dance as the other one. Well, here you have the locators for the characters. When you press W, you can move them so they perform their dance in different places. And now we want the yellow character to get into the fighting mood. Cartwheel motion example, and we want him to be a fighter, so we change this to fight. So the yellow one will jump to the position of the red one, and they'll both fight. And of course we can move them to the side, and then we have this effect. There are several things which need to be discussed further, but not in this tutorial, because there's a question why this character stops, it doesn't move anymore. There's another question why when we transfer the motion of one character to another, it seems that the previous animation is lost. Of course it isn't. So it's all a bit tricky, so this is only your starting point, and you need to find out more about it. Have a good day.